It is just like, suppose we are having very great degree and we are working, but Krishna stops oxygen, then what is the value of our degree and the job? Isn't it true? So it is a very great subtle lesson to all of us that we are nothing. Even with all these things, we are nothing. So we become very humble and our ego comes down and we see the real proprietor as the proprietor. Who is that? God. And because of not identifying God and His original position and living our life centered around God, the whole problem in this world is there. There's no peace, there's no happiness, there's an enmity at every level today because of lack of Krishna consciousness, because of a lack of God consciousness. Isn't it true? If everyone is God conscious, there will be harmony, there will be brotherhood, there will be love. No worries. See, there are countries and countries for a piece of land. They are ready to wipe off the humanity with nuclear weapons. For a piece of land, little land goes here and there, and people are dying. Nobody is taking away the land with them. Land is there only. Generations are dying and going on, right? Nations are wiped off for a piece of land. Isn't it true? Just imagine what way the whole world is direction is. People are just ready to kill each other for a piece of land. We can see after freedom, around 7 decades have passed away, and more than 2 generations has gone. People are fighting for the piece of land. Land is there only, people are dying and going away. Nations are ready to wipe off each other, and this is there in every level. All this is because of the false education. Generally, in the Vedic time, there would be security, there would be, guards, but they were to protect from demons. Nobody was fighting for a piece of land and killing each other, wiping off. Nobody was ready to wipe off the whole humanity. Isn't it true? This is because of lack of knowledge. When there is right knowledge, this will not happen. You understand my point? So this is because God consciousness is not educated right from the childhood. Self-consciousness is educated from the childhood. You are Tom. One wants each other's thing, and nobody can say each other successful because they themselves think that I am this body, everything I possess belongs to me, and they fight, and this is not what is going on in the world. But if they all, Tom, Dick and Harry, come together and say, oh, we all belong to God, everything what we possess, it is God's, and why we should fight? Ultimately, we have to leave this body and go, and someone else will come and take away what we possess. So why not be as much long time we are spending together? Why not be in peace? Because ultimately, the original creator, whom it belongs to, he will give it to someone else after we die. So why do waste time in all these things? Isn't it true? This is called intelligence. This is all intelligence. This is called philosophy. And then Krishna says, Arjuna, one very beautiful thing in the Bhagavad Gita for the human life. He says, one who understands this philosophy, he can understand me also. And when he understands me, he doesn't have to take birth again. He can come back to me. He says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo viti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. So he says that Krishna is telling Arjuna, hey Arjuna, my birth, janma, karma, my karma, janma karma, my actions. Janma karma cha me divyam. My birth and my actions are transcendental. Tyaktva deha. Tyaktva deha means one who dies. Punar janma naiti mamiti so Arjuna. Evam yo viti tattvata. One line is very important in that. Third line. Evam yo viti tattvata. He says, my birth and activities are very unique, transcendental. Anyone who understands my birth and activities, upon leaving this body, comes to me, doesn't take birth again in the material world. Material world with months. Material world with what? To simple understanding. The place where there is pain from the birth. All of you agree there is a pain from the birth here? Have you seen a child smiling, calling, I've come? From, just before delivery, he says, I'm come. People are celebrating. He comes and crowds and shouts. Isn't it true? Makes a big scene. And then we understand. We are happy, but he's in pain. Correct? And do you think life's journey is very happy? For a few years he's happy, then suddenly he's sent to the school. I still remember, when I was a small boy, I was being sent to the school. And I was running house from there. I threw my bag, my father picked up the bag. I threw my water bottle, my mother picked up the water bottle. I was running door to door, room to room. We had a big house. They caught me. I was crying. I was falling on the floor. They dragged me on the floor. And I was crying on the bus also, shouting. And the bus conductor came. Hey! Thak karke caught me. And I was like completely fearful, silent, And then I accepted it. It was a force. I didn't want it. It was force. I was not satisfied. Then I accepted it. And you see, life's journey goes on like this only. Isn't it true? So then you get old. Anyone who is 30, anyone 30 plus here? You can think when you were 21, you're not able to enjoy 30 same when you were 20, right? Are you? Can you enjoy the life when you were 30 the same way now? Body is getting older. It's going to get more older only, not younger, no? 20 you could dive in the water directly. 30 you have to think what is the weight of your body and how it will splash on you, right? Anyone swims? I am telling myself, I used to go to Andheri Sports Complex and swim. This time when I went to Ganga, I used to think, if I jump, what will happen to me and will I come up or not after I jump? The body has changed. So I am telling, old age and disease comes. Before the death, old age and disease comes. In between, the youth is there. Out of illusion, we think that I will enjoy and I will never get old. But anyone who is 20 will think like this. But anyone who is 30, 35 will agree with me, right? So much anxiety is there, no? And suppose you don't have a good job and a good saving. My goodness, you'll die with more disease then. It is like that. So what I was trying to tell you, this life is full of anxiety, birth, old age, disease and death. So now Krishna is telling what? Then you can understand Krishna's word. When you understand this, if you accept this as a truth, then you can understand Krishna's word. Why Krishna is telling Tyakta Deham Punar Janma Naitima? Krishna is telling Arjuna, people are suffering like anything here. If they understand my birth and activities, after leaving this body, they will come back to me. That means when you go back to Krishna's, there is no birth and old age and disease and death. Krishna's birth is there in the material world, but that is called appearance, avatar. Isn't it true? And you never say Krishna, see there is difference between Krishna taking birth here and we are taking birth here. Krishna chooses his mother and father. And he doesn't, appears like we are appearing. Through the semen of the father, we are transferred into the mother's womb. Isn't it true? And from there, we come out to the world. But if you read Krishna's birth, it is not like that. From the mind of, Krishna enters into the mind of Yashoda, Nand Baba. From there, he enters into the heart of Nand Baba. From there, he enters into the heart of Yashoda Maya. And then he appears. When they are sleeping, there is no labor pain, doctors are running here and there. Then he appears. There is a difference between his birth and us. That is the difference between him and us. He is God. And when we, in the material, we are force. So we get association of Krishna's original palace, original place, which is called Goloka, Vrindavan, where these birth, death, disease, distress, unhappiness, greed, anger, envy, ego, they don't exist there. This doesn't exist there. It is only love, loving exchanges with God. So Krishna says that you will come back to me, where only all these things are there. So now you need to understand this, now what is here. No school teaches this. Any school told you will get old and there will be disease and you will die? They only tell you there is an insurance policy. But that is good. That is not for you after you die. Isn't it true? So that is why our Srila Prabhupada used to say that this is a cheating business. Because nowadays education is economy, you know that? Education is an industry. All of you know this? Education is an industry. And in an industry, where you are supposed to be educated, but it is not educating you about yourself, it is not educating you about the reality of this world, and it is not educating you about the goal of the human form of life. Is it education then? Is it? It is not. It is just teaching you how to earn your livelihood. That's it. Correct or not? But Prabhupada used to say this is also very false. He says anyone who is take birth, God takes care of him. Now for the modern technocrats, it's very difficult to even look at, understand it. Because the system of education what we have, it is programmed to deprogram us from the Vedic system. You understand? It is programmed to deprogram us from the Vedic system. The Vedic system is programmed to see all this is knowledge, but the real knowledge is God is behind everything. This is something which they don't speak, except this, everything else they speak, right? Right or wrong? Tell me. Loudly, are you convinced about it or not? Yes. This is truth. So they will teach you all these things, but not teach you this what Vedic. Srila Prabhupada is an acharya who spoke so boldly. Prabhupada waked up people. He waked the world. What Prabhupada would say? He said, God is so kind to take care of children that only in the 9th month, before the child takes a birth, the mother's blood is transformed into milk before the child is born, and rest of the life is taken care. That God who can transform before the birth mother's blood into milk, that same God has arranged the nature to give them fruit and grains and vegetables. Give them nature to wood and stick and cement and brick to make house. And this is how Vedic civilization is. This is education. You understand? You know there is cement, you build it and you say, I build. That is animalism. But when you say, Krishna, God is so kind, He has created all these things, with this I am making house. That is path towards peace. You understood my point? So simple it is, no? Are you understanding what I am trying to say? And when that is not there, there is ego, there is fight, there is abuse, abusing each other. And the biggest thing for the youths is there is enjoyment in the form of sex. You know, the most the aspect of the same sex which is approached with great devotion in Vedic time. You know, that a mother and father come together to create a progeny. You know, and great devotion, they take blessings of the society. So many people come together and bless the soul, both the souls, when they come together, unite and to create a generation, you know, and that is a sanctity. That is a sanctity. And for that reason, they would separate the girls and boys from, you know, from the Vedic time. Girls and boys were never educated together. They were separated. Because men were hard labor. They go out and work. They're physically strong. Females, the minds are not so strong. So that is why strong means, now they say that, you know, strong means, they talk in an intelligence point of view, you know, emotionally. Emotionally, they are not strong as men. Emotionally, women are very weak. And they say that man's strength is to earn money, woman's strength is her tolerance. And they come together at a certain age. If this is not practiced, and if the woman is polluted before the marriage, she becomes unchaste. You understand unchaste? You understand chaste and unchaste? Chastity and unchastity. You don't understand? How many of you understand the meaning of chaste? Pure. You can say pure and impure. You know, it's a matter of consciousness. It's a matter of consciousness. Everything has a purpose. You know. Similarly, it's just logical. You know, one woman is meant to be enjoyed by one man only after the marriage. Right? But now modern civilization says everyone should be allowed to do what they want. But no man will agree this for himself. Anyone will agree this for himself? Okay, I have a wife, and if the modern civilization, she has to be enjoyed, she has to live the way she wants, and if she wants to enjoy so many men and again come back in the night with me, that's fine with me, because this is the modern culture. How many of you will agree with this? Huh? So this is a Rakshasa philosophy. Rakshasa philosophy is to make some philosophy, put people in illusion and get your thing out. And all of us are fooled by this. Isn't it true? All of us are fooled by this philosophy. Unfortunately. Everyone thinks that I will get a pure soul and I will live this Rakshasa philosophy. For in my mind I will want to enjoy everyone. But for me I will get a Rani untouched by anyone. And that is called animalism, that is called animal culture. So for the youth, this is the biggest distraction. There is a co-education, and then women or men are here living like animals. Now they stay without marriage, they can live together. Isn't it true? Nowadays that culture is there. How many of you know about it? Live, what they call it? See? Live in relationship. That is called, in the Vedic point of view, animals living together, it is called. It is called animal living together. Because of all these things, the younger generation's brains have become so dull that even if they hear this philosophy, they cannot apply it. It's very difficult to apply. But there is one very great hope. That hope is when you live in association of devotees, you can very easily follow this philosophy. This philosophy about keeping yourself pure. So what I was trying to tell you, these are the reasons. One is there is no education about God, and there is no education about human form, and then there is only co-education. There is only co-education. So there is sex, which is bona fide. There is illicit sex, which is illegal. So what is the difference between two? Bona fide sex keeps the man and woman pure, and the child becomes the center, and there is affection and God is center of the life. That's bona fide, because they seek blessings of elders. And illicit sex is you enjoy with anyone before marriage. There's no value. There's no value to chastity. There's no value to purity. It's like, 4 dogs are there, 1 she dog is there. See what happens then? The 4 dog will fight and tear them into pieces. And anyone who's strong will go and enjoy that bitch. Isn't it true? It's like that. Anyone who is strong can enjoy anyone. Anyone who's very intelligent enough who can allure a girl can enjoy her. It's animal culture. So with this culture, it's called illicit sex. When you enjoy sex life in a very non-bona fide way, then what happens is your consciousness is contaminated. Because Vedic life, one husband and wife to come together, they pray to the Lord. Even before having sex, they take blessings of the elders. And then they enjoy sex life. And that is very pure. And in the Vedic time, there was no family planning. There was no abortion. There was no birth pills. People would accept children as long as they want to enjoy sex life. Anyone from the Vedic side, village, you will see your grandfather, great-grandfather, they were 6, 7, 5, 4. How many of you seen this? See? Why? Because the husband and wife knew the purpose of sex life. If you want to enjoy each other, you have to accept children as a responsibility. And there was more peace and harmony. And once they would decide no more children, they would not have sex also. And it was easily to give up. Now what is happening? You want sex and no child. So your consciousness is dirty, very dirty. Because nothing in this world can satisfy the soul, which we are originally. The soul can only be satisfied in service of the Lord. And the bona fide sex life is considered as service of the Lord. And then having sex with the wife and producing children is not goal of life. Raising the children, making them also God conscious. And then at the right time, have a son who takes care of the wife, and then you go on the spiritual path. You see, that's called vanaprastha or sannyas. That is called human journey. That is called human life. But you are contaminated with this material consciousness. You cannot come out of it. You can come out of it. Anyone who takes up Vedic life can think this way. Can think like this. You understand my point? Can think like this. If you cannot think only like this, if you are in a society, if you are in a culture which doesn't encourage this thought, imagine the suffering which we have to go through. I have met many students who have been talking, they are so distressed. For what? They said, we have got so used to pornography from the youth that we cannot give it up, and there is no peace of mind now. And they are very frustratedly, they share this. Very frustratedly. And scriptures tell this. The pleasure of the sex life is very less. Once a person discharges semen, he cannot enjoy sex life. He cannot enjoy it. And one cannot discharge semen throughout the day also. Can anyone enjoy throughout the day? No, but that is hyped in today's society so falsely and is put on us as a culture. And we've been cheating with all these things. But there is, in the Vedic life, there is brahmacharya. Brahmacharya teaches us. The brahmacharya means this semen is very vital energy of the body. The most vital energy is semen. And it is used to produce a very healthy and intelligent child who can guide the society. You understand? Who can guide the family. If a husband and wife produce a child, the child has to take care of the husband and wife when they are old and also take care of the generation, right? Nobody would like an animal to be born, right? Isn't it? Nobody would like an animal consciousness child to be born. So this is all Vedic life all about. And this is not taught. Anyone is teaching these things? Nothing. They are teaching how to use a condom. They are teaching how to carry a condom. That's it. So that you can run away from the responsibility and live a life of animal. And I'm telling philosophy, but to practice this is very easy because of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You just have to be in association, chant. How many of you attend a yatra or stayed in association of devotees 3-4 days like that? How many of you? 2 days, 3 days, stayed with devotees? 1 day, 2 days? Many of you, right? And you see, you are not the same what you are without association, right? The same thoughts, the same association attacks your consciousness. It's not there. You can be a pure man. You can be a wise man. You can still be a Vedic man. Association is the essence of everything. If you're in association, whatever I'm telling you is truth. And the society and family has not given you all these things. What I'm telling you is also the truth. And you have all been victim to untruth. This is also truth. But there is a hope by the mercy of an Acharya like Srila Prabhupada, who have formed an institution which foundation is based on Vedic teaching, which foundation is based on purity, which foundation is to teach how a human being should be like a human by following the instructions of God, the original creator of all of us. You understand? And this is human life all about. Very simple. Whatever I'm speaking is truth, and it is as simple as you are understanding it. The only problem is when you go out, you don't have the right man who can speak and live the same thing with you. That is why this whole temple, this movement is all about, to give us an opportunity to live together. And then you can relish spiritual life. Then you can enjoy spiritual life. There's so much. Like you saw Rath Yatra, right, yesterday? So, as I was mentioning this verse, so there is love. Like we talk about false love in the material world. I love her, she loves me, but that love doesn't last long. Nowadays you say that love is also fine, then both love someone else, then they again love someone else. Isn't it true? Then come to contract marriage. And in the contract marriage, everyone is worried, is my wife chaste to me only? Husband, is it chaste to me only? There's always an anxiety between husband and wife. Is this life? Is it life? Tell me. Our parents and great-grandparents, they don't live like that. Did they live like this? I never saw my grandmother in anxiety, my grandfather with someone else. But today I see newly married people in that anxiety. Isn't it true? They're living in this anxiety. They miss the beauty. So there is this love. But pure love can only be there when God is center. Then you can glorify God and you can love each other also because you are glorifying God. The secret of love is to keep God in the center, to keep Krishna as the center. Then you can glorify, God also, and you can enjoy your life also, keeping God, Krishna as the center. And very simple processes, come together and hear about Krishna. As I was speaking about love, this Rath Yatra festival is all about that divine love, that pure love. And what is the essence of that love? What is the essence of that love? That actually Krishna exemplified that by that love in his pastime. And then Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You see, there's a dancing God on the altar. You see in ISKCON only you will see a dancing God who's dancing. You see on the first poster, there is one God, two brothers. They are in the dancing position. When do we dance? When do we dance? When we are very happy, not happy. When we are happy, we smile. When we are very happy, we dance. Isn't it true? So those two personalities, they are telling, don't worry. In Kali Yuga, I am there. And I am giving a process of dancing. What is that process? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Don't worry, you don't have the proper culture. Don't worry, the family did not train you. Don't worry, the school and college has not trained you with the Vedic philosophy and the right education of human form of life. Don't worry, I am there. Just chant and dance with me and everything will be fine. And you can see that when in Kirtan, you lose everything, right? You forget what you are. So they taught us how to love God. They taught us how to approach God. They taught. Krishna came as Krishna to teach us how to serve him. Who can teach better than God only how to serve God, right? So Krishna came as his own devotee as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is said, when Krishna appeared in this world, he was staying in Vrindavan. All of you know, right? So when he was staying in Vrindavan, the devotees of Vrindavan are very special, very unique, very, very sweet. And they were ready to do anything to please Krishna. Krishna's birth and childhood is so sweet. There is nothing sweeter than that in this whole world. When Krishna used to steal butter, the ladies would come, the gopis would come and complain to Mother Yashoda. And sometimes they would tell that, Mother Yashoda, we are hiding our butter in a place where Krishna cannot see. But you see, Krishna is so beautiful, and when you decorate him with those beautiful jewelry, gold and pearls and diamonds on his body, there is so much effulgence from his own body and they fell on his jewelry and they shine. And because of that shine, he can find where the butter is. So Mother Yashoda said, okay, fine, I will remove that butter, that jewelry from Krishna's body, so that when it comes to steal the butter, he cannot find the butter. And then the gopis, they contemplate, how will Krishna look without that jewelry? And they feel, no, Krishna will not look as beautiful as he looks with his jewelry. And then they say, Mother Yashoda, no, whatever it is, don't worry. We will manage how to save our butter. Don't remove Krishna's jewelry. Don't remove Krishna's jewelry. Please, don't remove Krishna's jewelry. They will come with a complaint and they stop the punishment. That's the sweetness of Vrindavan. Have you seen this anywhere happening? No, you can't see that anywhere happening. And Krishna also has such wonderful pastimes to chase them and to harass them also. Once Krishna was stealing butter. So the gopis smartly decided that we will catch Krishna this time. So as soon as Krishna entered to steal butter and he put his hand inside the pot and he was eating butter and butter was falling on him and he was eating, and then suddenly Gopi came and very angrily she said, "What is happening here?" And Krishna looked at her. Suddenly he also, suddenly someone shouts you, shakes. So Krishna shaked and he turned back and he looked at the Gopi and he looked at her with anger, with red eyes. "What do you think? I'm stealing your butter here?" With more anger, Krishna told her. Now you just see Krishna's beauty. Krishna is in her house. His hand is in the pot. The butter is on his body. She's shouting at him and he's shouting back. "What do you think? I'm stealing butter." And the Gopi said, "Then what are you doing?" He said, "My calf. I was playing with my calf. The calf fell inside this pot. And I'm searching my calf in this pot." So Gopi said, "The calf is so big. My pot is so small. How did the calf fall inside this pot? How did the calf fall inside this pot?" So Krishna said, "What do you think?" More angrily. "Do you think I'm a liar? Do you think I'm a liar?" So she said, "Okay, where is the calf? Show me." And Krishna removed his hand and opened his hand. There was a small marble calf in Krishna's hand. And the gopis saw it. And then Krishna took the calf and very angrily went out of the house. What do they think of themselves? Other day, Mother Yashoda, Krishna was sleeping, Mother Yashoda was sleeping, and there was a big noise outside Krishna's house, Nanda Bhavan. So that when this whole noise was there, so Mother Yashoda got up and she came out and she saw a lot of gopis complaining that our butter was stolen last night. Nothing is left for us to sell today morning. Except Krishna, nobody does this. Mother Yashoda said, "My Lala is sleeping inside." "No, he has done it and came back and slept." So she called Krishna out and she told Krishna, "What is this? Lala, what is this? These gopis are complaining that you have stole their butter. And why are you doing all this thing?" And Mother Yashoda was feeling so heavy-hearted because in Bhagavatam it is mentioned that Nanda Baba was Nanda Brajraj. Brajraj means king of Brajbhumi, king of Vrindavan. And Yashoda Maya was Nanda Rani. And Krishna is the Kanaya of Nanda Lala and Nanda Rani. Means he is the prince of Vrindavan. Why? Because Nanda Baba is a king and he possesses how many cows? 9 lakh cows. The person who has 9 lakh cows, if his child is stealing butter, it is like, Mukesh Ambani's son is found in, Indian Mumbai local train pocketing someone. You can imagine what it is, isn't it true? How Mukesh Ambani will feel, You cannot imagine it only, but just Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba had to go through this anxiety. So they came and they said they are complaining. Then Mother Yashoda said, "Krishna, this is enough. I have to punish you for this." But then Krishna, with his beautiful lips, which is very pinkish, with his beautiful face, which is like dark clouds, with his beautiful curly hairs, which is rolling around his face and coming to his ears, covering his ears, and with his shining eyes, looks at everyone angrily and then looks at Mother Yashoda humbly. And he says, "Maya, even in the greatest, assembly where law and order is discussed, before a verdict, the opportunity is given to speak for both the sides. And why is this injustice with such a small boy that you only hear the one side and you conclude to punish me?" And when they heard Krishna speaking, everyone's heart would melt. This is God. When you speak, you can only melt your mother and father. But Krishna speaking would melt all the mother and fathers of the world. That is Krishna. And when Krishna spoke like this, Mother Yashoda said, "No, Kanhaiya, I am not going to allow you, but you still speak. I allow you to speak, but you have to accept punishment today." And then Krishna said, "Maya, I have not stolen butter. Then why they have come here to complain?" "Oh, that I know. What is that?" "That I know. What is that?" "Maya, You see, your Lala, your Kanhaiya is so beautiful and looks so gorgeous, so ecstatic. And when I go to the jungle, I have all the dust. But before I go to the jungle, I look so beautiful because of your decoration. And this beautiful Lala of yours, early in the morning, your Shingar is so divine. And these gopis, they just want a reason to have glance on me in the morning. And this stealing butter is that reason to reach to your house. And then the gopis would just hear that and their hearts would melt and they would go back. Yeah. This is beauty of Krishna. This is the beauty, this is life of Krishna and his devotees. There is so much deeper philosophy which is understood in all these things. When Krishna grew up, when he was killing the demons also, many of them, they would see that, like I'll tell you this, Krishna stealing the butter. Krishna's devotees of Vrindavan are so special that Krishna never allows them to know that he's God. He always likes to enjoy with them more. Then let me give you an example how to understand this. You see, a grandfather and a small boy, grandson. When a grandson beats the grandfather, does the grandfather really gets injured? No. Grandson will take a sword and grandfather will do and fell down, and the grandson will sit on the grandfather and put the sword more inside and move it more, and grandfather will Isn't it true? The grandson is enjoying, but who's enjoying more? The grandfather. In a similar principle, when Krishna has his great devotees, Krishna would like to enjoy with his devotees. And how can he enjoy? By Krishna's divine energy, he makes them forget that he is God. And then he enjoys this. And that becomes a pastime, which is called Leela. And this is having more enjoyment when people sit together and discuss it than the people who actually did it. And I can see all of you are so much engrossed in these pastimes. When you hear them, it is so divine. Isn't it true? And then those devotees who lived. So when Krishna was in Vrindavan, he would kill a demon. Like when Krishna was tied. When Krishna was stealing a lot of butter, Mother Yashoda tied him with that mortar. You know this? Damodar Leela? And then Krishna pulls that mortar and goes into the courtyard. And then two trees fell down, right? What happens after that? What happens? When the trees fell down, two personalities come up. You've seen that? Nala and Kuber. Nala and Kuber. Nal, Kuber and Manigriv. Nala, Kuber and Manigriv. These two personalities, sons of Kuber. So they come up, and then Krishna is looking at them. They are paying obeisances to Krishna, and then they are crying in front of Krishna, and they are offering some songs to Krishna, and then after that they are doing parikrama of Krishna, and then after that they fly in the sky and go away. And they fly also, their tears are flowing on Krishna like that, And then after this whole thing happened, Nanda Baba, Mother Yashoda and all the village boys, they come running, And when they come running, so all the elderly people see that, what happened? These 2-3 fell down. Oh my God, Krishna is so fortunate. God is so fortunate. Krishna just escaped by inches. Others, that this tree would have fell on Krishna and what a disaster would have happened today. But the nearby boys who were playing, they saw what happened. And they came running to Nanda Baba and said, Baba, you know what happened? He said, what happened? Baba, Krishna went, and when Krishna went into the courtyard, his mortar got stuck between the two trees, and Baba Krishna did not do anything. He just pushed his two legs on the tree, and little push of Krishna, both these trees fall down, Baba. And what we saw after that, there were two divine personalities who came out of below the tree. And Baba, when they saw Krishna, they were crying looking at Krishna. And not only that, Baba, they were singing and glorifying Krishna. They were telling Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord. You are the divine energy. Please be merciful upon us. Not only that, Baba, after that, they did the pranams to Krishna. Repeatedly, they were doing their dandavat. And then they did Sarkamila to Krishna. They flied in the sky, Baba. We saw the whole thing, Baba. Nanda Baba looked at them. very surprisingly, he thought that the trees falling south had an effect on their mind. Something happened to them. Nobody could accept Krishna as God even after these beautiful divine activities. They would think that our child is empowered by some divine energy. And this way, Krishna would do so many pastimes with all the gopis, elderly gopis, Srimati Radharani, Madhumangal, Nanda Baba, Yashoda. But when he wanted to kill Kamsa, he went out of Mathura. You know that? You know that, right? Krishna went out of Mathura to kill Kamsa. But the story tells that Krishna did not come back to Mathura. He went to Dwarka after that, right? All of you know, then he met the Dwarkapuri. All of you know this, right? Krishna is known as Dwarkadish, right? King of Dwarka. So Krishna went to Dwarka, but one promise he gave to the devotees of Vrindavan. What was that promise? That I'll come back to meet you. I'll come back to meet you. So one day when Krishna was in Dwarka, the queens of, and Rohini, who's mother of Balaram, Rohini Devi, she went to Dwarka. And when she went to Dwarka, all the queens of Dwarka, they surrounded Krishna, Rohini. And they told that we are so many of us queens of Krishna. And we are trying to serve our master with our heart and soul. But we are finding ourselves inefficient. And how do we find this, that we are inefficient in serving Krishna? Because we see when Krishna is in the night, when he's sleeping, he's calling out the names of Vrindavan devotees. He's calling out the name of the gopis. He's calling out the name of Nanda Baba. He's calling out the devotees of Vrindavan and he's crying in the night. But he doesn't let us know. Let us know what happened. What is that great love of devotees of Vrindavan? That my Lord is feeling so much of separation. So much of separation from them. So then Mother Rohini told, my God, if I speak about Vrindavan, if I tell you what happened in Vrindavan, and if Krishna and Balaram, if they hear these things, they will leave Dwarka and they will go back to Vrindavan. So she made a condition. Subhadra is Krishna and Balaram's sister. So she told that, Subhadra, you be on the gate. When I'm speaking these pastimes of Vrindavan, what happened in Vrindavan, for these great queens of Dwarka, you be there. And when the Krishna and Balaram are coming, you come and tell us. Krishna and Balaram has come, I'll stop. So she went on telling all, fighting with the gopis, telling this is my calf. I went on one after another, she started telling one after another. And just like all of you are so happy to hear, and the queens of Dwarka also were so happy, there was so much tears in their eyes in ecstatic hearing. And then Krishna and Balaram, who were in the Sudharma hall, they came to know something is happening. Something is happening in the house chambers. So they came running. They came running. And they were on the gate. And Subhadra did not come to know when they came. Because when Subhadra started hearing about Vrindavan, Krishna and his devotees, the pastimes. So Subhadra came into so much of emotions that she crossed all the levels of external existence, and so much so that her body started melting. And when Krishna and Balaram reached there, when they started hearing and remembering their greatest devotees of Vrindavan, they started feeling separation from those devotees. And Krishna and Balaram's, even bodies, suddenly something happens, you are like, you see, you're stunned. You see something very unnatural happening and something very special happening. Suppose you go to your house and you see the whole house is full of rasgulla, gulab jamun, jalebis. Isn't it? Does it happen to you or not? And that is emotions which comes out in ecstasy. So there is divine emotions also, which is beyond material perceptions. And Krishna's body, Krishna's eyes become big when he started remembering Nanda Baba, Mother Yashoda, Srimati Radharani. And they started not only becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, they started bigger and started melting, bigger. Hands were melting. And then when this whole pastime was happening in Dwarka, Narada Muni came there. And as soon as Krishna and Balaram, Subhadra, they saw Narada Muni, they immediately came back to their normal forms with hands and proper eyes. And Narada Muni said, "No, I saw it. I saw this. I saw this. And I want the world should not be deprived from this beautiful divine form of yours." And then the Lord promised, "I will come in Jagannath Puri in these forms as Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. And the world can take that darshan. And whoever takes darshan of us will get the divine mercy and will never take birth back in the material world." Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maiya ki, Shri Jagannath Rath Yatra Mahotsav ki. So this form of Lord Jagannath Baladev Subhadra is that divine form which Narada Muni saw. And there is a great pastime behind it also. But one very important thing I wanted to tell, that Krishna and Balaram, they exemplified more rasa and more taste in separation from those devotees than being with them. That form of Jagannath is a form of Mahabhav, which is in separation. And the goal of human form of life is to experience that separation. And practicing Krishna consciousness, coming in association, is the stepping stones to experience that ecstasy, to go deeper in this spiritual life. This philosophy which we teach and preach is to have intelligence so that you can relish these pastimes. You understand? If I directly tell you Krishna Leela, you will hear, you will say it was nice and you will go do what you want. But if it is supported by the philosophy, that this goal, Krishna himself is telling, that Janma Karma, what Janma is Karma? What is Janma and Karma? Krishna's birth and his pastimes. One has to understand it in a right philosophical conclusion, Tattva. And then he will leave this body and never come back to this material world. To put in short, this is all Krishna consciousness all about. So we should take advantage of association and discuss Krishna's pastime. And that is actually the success of human life. There's nothing else which is meant to be done in the human form of life. Everything else is supposed to be done as a duty, only as a duty. You have a family, you have to maintain them. You have education, you have to complete that. You have a job, you have to work so that you fulfill your duty. But in the heart and mind, you should know this. But the goal of human life is to perform bhakti. That can happen only by association. Having Guru, Sadhu, Vaishnavas association. Then we can live it, right? Can you practice this without association? No. You go out, immediately you will be animal. Because people are living like animals outside. Isn't it true? So that is why Srila Prabhupada has created this missionary movement, wherein a great duty is there on the younger generation. What is future of nation? The future of nation is to preserve this Vedic culture. You understand? So that people, by dying for the nation, one is not going to get any heavenly planet. Suppose one is sinful, watching pornography, eating meat, drinking alcohol, and is fighting for the nation and he'll die. By that death, he is not going to get heaven. He will get another birth. He has to, if he has killed animal or if he has ate animals, so he has to become an animal, so the animal will eat him next life. So, a real revolution is to be giving Krishna consciousness to the world. That is going to create peace, not wars and fights. Prabhupada said this Krishna consciousness movement has a solution to the whole world and can bring up peace in the whole world by this simple activity. See Krishna as controller, creator, keep him as the center of the life, discuss about him, eat his prasadam, glorify him. Will there be wars if everyone does that? Will there be wars? No. So that is a responsibility. That is the youth is meant for. Understand? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maiya ki. Any questions? Anyone has any questions? So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.